Hello and welcome to this week's edition of Ask the Gov. It's my pleasure as Lieutenant Governor to be sitting in for Governor Branstad this week. I'm really excited for the opportunity, and with that, let's go ahead and get started. Our first question comes from Sean in Cedar Falls, and Sean asks, why are you going to raise our taxes to pay for roads? In these tough times, we can't afford higher prices at the pump. The state of Iowa does have a significant road funding need when it comes to the infrastructure and transportation and roads through the state of Iowa. As indicated by the Transportation 2020 Advisory Committee that delivered their report to the DOT Commission just yesterday. However, both the governor and I believe before any gas tax increase, we need to take a look at how we're spending the existing dollars that need to go to our roads. We've asked Director Paul Trambino to look for what is equivalent to a 2-cent tax increase through reducing the administrative costs. And so we're asking him to look for $50 million in savings through the DOT administrative cost, as well as looking at diverting the 1-cent funding that goes to the underground storage tanks, that we could divert that and put that into the road use tax fund to also meet and get those dollars on the roads. So before we ask Iowans to pay additional dollars, we want to make sure that not only the state, but as well the city and the county and state government are all looking at the ways that they're utilizing their existing funding and eliminate duplication and make sure that they're using it in the most cost-efficient way. So we're getting the dollars on the roads where they need to be. So we'll start with that before we move forward with asking Iowans to pay more at the gas pumps. The second question then comes from Joshua in Muscatine via Facebook. And Josh asks, my question is, what is our state doing to help young small business owners like myself? Well, Josh, that's a great question. The governor and I have been traveling the state. We hit all 99 counties during the campaign, and we've made a pledge to do that every year. In fact, both of us are almost there. And one of the concerns that we heard from small business owners all across the state of Iowa was the regulatory and the tax environment and the impediment that it is to them to not only start a new business, but to grow existing businesses. We've set some very ambitious goals of 200,000 new jobs in the next 5 years, as well as raising family incomes by 25%. And we certainly understand that for us to meet those goals, it's going to come from small business owners just like yourself. So we want to make sure that we create an environment that's conducive to job growth. One of our top priorities will be in this next legislative session, we didn't get it done last year, was to reduce the commercial property tax. It is a deterrent to small businesses in our main streets and to seeing the growth that we believe that we can experience through reducing that tax burden. We're the second highest in the nation, and so that will be one of our top priorities as we move into the 2012 legislative session to reduce the commercial property tax. We made some significant gains in the regulatory environment this past session. The governor signed an executive order repealing the Rice Rule, which was an additional charge on backup generators that impacted communities all across the state of Iowa. And we also will put in place a 4-year rolling sunset where we'll take a look at each rule and regulation and have it applied a jobs impact statement to that so we can understand how that rule or regulation impacts business and jobs that we're trying to bring to the state of Iowa. So we know that those are two areas that we need to focus on, and so that we can create an environment where business owners and entrepreneurs can do what they do best, and that's create and bring jobs to the state of Iowa. So thanks for that question, and it's a top priority of ours. Our third question comes from Coggin, and from Bev and Coggin. Bev asks, when are you and Governor Branstad going to come to Eastern Iowa to talk about your education blueprint? Because we have ideas too. Well, thanks, Bev, and I'm happy to report that on November 15th, we're going to be in the eastern side of Iowa. We plan on being in Marshalltown, Toledo, Marion, and Cedar Falls. I think so far we've had the opportunity between the governor, myself, Linda Fandel, and Director Glass to be in over 25 communities. So it's been a great opportunity, not only for us to talk about the education blueprint, but to hear firsthand from Iowans and from teachers and administrators, school board members on some suggestions, some concerns, or to give us the opportunity to clarify what we're talking about. So we look forward to being in Eastern Iowa. We look forward to hearing from your ideas. And then prior to the legislative session, we're going to gather all of the ideas and the input that we've heard from Iowans as we've had the opportunity to travel the state, put together our final policy piece, as well as a budget we will receive from the Revenue Estimating Conference on December 15, the revenue that we'll be able to work with in the next legislative session. So we'll put the final policy together as well as a budget, and then we will deliver that to the legislature in the next session. So we look forward to talking to you when we're in the eastern part of the state next week. Thanks.